Hey everyone, and welcome to Phoenix on the Fly. So today I had a client in a private coaching session who was explaining to me that they were feeling somewhat down and discouraged because they felt like their motivation was lacking in the midst of the coronavirus. They felt like they were more tired and that they weren't able to do as much as they wanted to do, whether it be, cleaning around the house or doing their studies or, doing their jobs in a way that's more efficient or productive. And so this person was really discouraged by the fact that this is what was happening for them. So these are the things that I told this person so that they could realize that their lack of motivation is actually justified. So first, we are living in really, really weird and odd and controversial, let's put it this way, times. The coronavirus or COVID-19 is, we're smack dab into it. We're at the end of March currently. I'm, videoing this from Montreal, Canada. And this in and of itself is enough to exhaust us. There's a lot of stress that comes from having to deal with this pandemic, whether we are living alone or in our family. So if you're living alone and you like to live alone, great. But some of us hate being alone. Some of us are social beings. And the fact that we can't go out is a huge and stressing thing. The fact that some of us are losing our jobs, the fact that people that we love are losing their jobs, the fact that some of us are getting sick, that some of our loved ones are getting sick or could possibly get sick, the fact that some of us have family that are in countries that are taken by the illness in such greater numbers, where the death toll is really high and really scary. These are all really, really stressful circumstances. And I'm not saying this so that we panic. I'm saying this so that we acknowledge that the stress that we're living is justified. It's legitimate. And the fact that we could be exhausted and losing motivation just with that is enough to justify having lower motivation. The second thing is that this person is a highly, highly productive person, however, does not acknowledge that that's who they are. And I know that many of you will see themselves in this case. So this person has a family, they're divorced, they have their kids with them once, 1 week on 2, they are studying, and they're also working still through this whole circumstance. And so what happens is that when we are highly productive people and we work well, but we work under stress, we don't realize that as we work under stress, we are also pumping into our bodies a lot of adrenaline and cortisol. These are hormones that allow us to deal with stress, that would allow us to react if the stress was, let's say, a tiger, which is a classic example, and that we needed to run away. Well, those hormones will allow us to fight or to flee, and in some cases to freeze if that's what was needed. But when we're working and we're stressing ourselves out because of work, we're not dealing with tigers, we're not running, we're not getting rid of the adrenaline that was created for us to deal with that stress. And so what happens is that we constantly pump those stress hormones into our system. And these hormones also at the same time repress the immune system so that we can get into survival mode. And the problem with that is that when we stop dealing with stress, when our stress level reduces, we crash. Not only do we crash, but oftentimes we get sick. And this is exactly what happens when we have vacation plan. We work with stress under pressure, but then before we leave, we put even more pressure, we work even harder, we push even harder, and then we get on vacation. And then 3 days after we start our vacation, we get sick. And that's how it happens. So because most of us have now been in isolation for 2 weeks, it would be normal that our bodies would slowly reduce the production of these stress hormones and progressively start feeling tired. So all of these reasons, or both of these reasons, are making it legitimate for us to to feel tired, to feel down, and of course this all impacts our motivation. So the trick is this: first, acknowledge that this is the reality. That's it. Second, be kind, be gentle, and be patient. What you need right now is to rest. And I'm not saying that you have to stop everything, but what I'm saying is that you need to manage your energies in a way that you can simply recover from everything that is happening. Just be kind. Allow yourself to sleep better. Make sure that you're eating well. Try to do some level of exercise. Make sure that you're resting, and make sure that you do things that provide distraction, because this situation is like nothing we've ever seen before. And granted, this is not war. We still have food. Yes, the circumstances are harsher, but seriously, we're pretty lucky. That being said, it's still really, really harsh circumstances. So let's see things for what they are. Let's not be overly positive, overly negative. Just see what the situation is for what it is. We're still lucky in certain circumstances, so please give yourself the time to do things that you love, that you enjoy, so that you can recover, so that your spirit has time to distract itself. Stop watching the news as much as we do. Don't depress yourself more by reading things that actually aren't true in many circumstances. Make sure that you get the proper information from news outlets that are sound. Make sure that you're not, seeing fake news. I know we see this all the time, but it's true, just make sure that you get the information from proper outlets, and make sure that you connect with people that you love. We have so many different ways that we connect with the people that we love, whether it's online, video conferencing, by phone, by email. We're living in an era which is really, really cool of social media, and the inconvenience of social media is that we can be overly stimulated by negative, but we can also connect in ways that are so amazing, and we can inspire each other to get through this together. So this is what I would say: just get balance back, acknowledge what the situation is, be kind with yourself, do what is needed for you to progressively recover, and develop the confidence that when you will feel better, you will be more productive, right? You're not being lazy, you're not being procrastinating. And granted, there are some people who are, so I'm not talking to you if that's your case. But to most of us, stop assuming that you're being lazy. You're not. You're just dealing with circumstances that are completely different, and just be kind with yourselves. So I hope this helps somewhat. Please feel free to ask me any questions, and if you have any comments, please feel free to put them down below. I wish you all the best. Stay safe. Make sure that you practice proper hygiene. Clean your hands. I mean, you know all of this. Just be kind. Just add being kind and doing things that you love into the mix. So until we see each other next time, I wish you well, take good care, and thank you for watching. See you next time.